Welcome to Fox Paintball. Before we can get started today, we've got a couple of rules that we have to go over, so make sure you pay attention. There will be a quiz afterwards. First and foremost, goggles on always. Make sure you always have your goggles on when you enter the field, when you enter the target range, or when you enter any area where paintball markers can be in use. A regulation pair of goggles will cover the full face and your eyes and your ears, and they cannot be modified in any way. Make sure that when you're wearing your goggles there is a full seal around the eyes so that there is no break anywhere for a paintball to sneak in. Now this is what goggles on looks like. You'll notice that the seal is completely around the eyes. This is what goggles off looks like. These are goggles, not a sun visor. Now if the goggles should come off for any reason, cover your eyes and call for a referee. Do not remove or lift your goggles in any way that breaks the seal around your eyes. If you are unable to see because of fogging problems, or you took a paintball to the mask and you cannot see, call for a referee. We'll be more than happy to be your seeing eye dog. If you remove your goggles on the field, you may be asked to sit a game. If you continue to remove your goggles, you may lose your playing privileges for the day without refund. If you don't listen to any other rule, this is the most important one to listen to. Keep your goggles on at all times when you're in any area where somebody may be using a paintball marker. The places it's safe to take your goggles off is the safe area. The safe area is any place in the parking lot, the pavilions, or any areas that are not netted or marked as playing areas. Pretty much where you park your car, that's where it's safe to take your goggles off. The second most important safety rule is about barrel plugs and barrel blocking devices. A barrel plug or a barrel blocking device must be in place at all times when you are in the safe area. You may not use a squeegee, a rag, a towel, or any other item that is not an approved barrel blocking device. If you are using an electronic paintball marker, you must use a barrel sock and a barrel sock only. That is the second most important rule to remember of the day. Goggles on out there, barrel blocking devices on out here. There is no shooting allowed in the safe area. You may not fire paintballs from your marker for any reason while you are in the safe area. This includes shooting into the woods, or shooting into the speedball field, or shooting into the target range from the safe area. If you wish to shoot your paintball marker for any reason, put your goggles on and head over to the target range. That's what it's there for. If you have rental equipment, you are not allowed to dry fire your marker for any reason. If you have your own marker, you may dry fire your marker to a limited extent, but only if the barrel is removed and the hopper is removed from the marker while you're dry firing it. Don't overkill. Excessive dry firing is not allowed. So 1 or 2 is fine. 50 or 60, starting to get there. All markers must be chronographed to under 280 feet per second. If your marker is over the limit, you will not be allowed to play with that paintball marker until it is under 280 feet per second. If you have your own paintball marker, you must chronograph it yourself. You are responsible for your own equipment. Your pretty face isn't going to make us fix it for you. I'm sorry. All the chronographs can be found at the target range or on either end of the safe area when you're entering the field. There is no excuse for not being able to find a chronograph. We've got them all over the place. If we do find that your marker is shooting over 280 feet per second, you will be asked nicely to bring down the velocity. If for some reason you cannot bring down the velocity, you will not be allowed to use that marker. We do have some things that you are not allowed to bring onto the paintball field with you. You may only use a paintball marker that fires 1 ball per trigger pull. You may not use a paintball marker that ramps, has full auto, burst modes, or anything similar to that. If you have any questions about your paintball marker, feel free to ask one of the employees and we'll be more than happy to let you know if you can use it or not. All paintball markers must have a trigger guard. This is for your safety and ours. You are not allowed to use pyrotechnics of any kind. This includes things like smoke bombs or fireworks or other incendiary devices. You're in the woods. Putting a fire in the woods is not a good idea. Please don't do it. Please do not bring any real weapons onto the paintball field with you. Things like clubs, knives, guns, or any other weapons of mass destruction. Other items prohibited from the field of play are things like blood red paint, orange shirts, shorts, and open-toed shoes. It's more for your safety than mine. I mean, your toes. We also have a 10-foot rule. No player is allowed to purposefully engage another player within 10 feet. Now what this means is you cannot run up to another player, get within 10 feet of them, and shoot them or ask them to surrender. You must always stay back at least 10 feet. Now, players are allowed to maneuver to the side or behind their opponents as long as you're 10 feet away. If you accidentally find yourself within 10 feet of another opponent, you must ask them to surrender. If the player does not acknowledge you, or they make an aggressive act towards you, you may shoot them, but just once or twice. Related to that is there is no physical contact allowed. Now, physical contact can be with your hand, it can be with the barrel of your paintball marker, it can be with anything that you are carrying. This also includes things like, you can't run up to somebody and give them like a judo throw over your shoulder or something like that. All of the fields have boundary lines on them. Usually it's going to be a yellow rope that will be very visible from anywhere on the field. Do not cross or shoot past any of the boundary lines, as there might be another game playing on a field adjoining yours. If you're playing on one field, keep shooting within your field. Other fields have natural boundaries, such as paths or trails or roads. On one side you might have the river as a natural boundary. You might find some walking paths or the railroad tracks. Don't shoot at boats, don't shoot at cars that you find driving down, don't shoot at the trains, and don't shoot at people that are walking down the trail past you. They're not in your game. They don't deserve to be shot at. We do have a target range that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Feel free to use the target range at any time. Just make sure you put your goggles on when you enter into the netted area. When you're at the target range, only shoot downrange. Don't turn to the side and shoot your friend. That's just bad. When you leave the target range, make sure that your barrel blocking device is in place. There is no alteration of the field at any time. You are not allowed to construct or alter bunkers. Please do not pick up items you might find on the field. Please do not alter items that you find on the field. Also, you may not construct any type of booby trap or tripwire device on the field. This ain't the real thing, guys. This is just paintball. We also do not allow a technique called the dead man's walk. A dead man's walk is when you act like an eliminated player in order to get up close to or get beyond your opponents and then shoot them at close range. If you're acting like an eliminated player, we will consider you an eliminated player and you will be out for that game. Several of our fields do have towers on them. If any number of players are on the top of a tower and the opposing team gains control of the base of that tower, all the players in the tower may be eliminated by a referee. This is up to our discretion. This is mostly so that you don't get shot at point blank range by about a dozen people because you never saw them coming. There is no blind firing allowed. You must be able to see what you are shooting at all times. Ow! There is no climbing of trees. This should be obvious, but when you're up in a tree, there's only one target you're going to get hit in, and it ain't pleasant. There is no smoking, food, or drink allowed on the playing field. Please save that for when you are in the safe area only. All players are expected to act responsibly. Hotheads, rude language, aggressive behavior, and similar will simply not be tolerated. If you're getting that angry about a paintball game, why don't you come on out to the safe area and have a nice cold beverage for a little while. There is no alcohol allowed on the premises at all. End of discussion. You may notice in the safe area we have lots of garbage cans. Please use them. Please do not throw garbage onto the ground. That's what the cans are for. Please do not put paintball boxes or cardboard into any of the garbage cans or in the dumpster. Please remove all the garbage from the boxes, flatten them, and stack them next to any garbage can. We'll be more than happy to take it from there. We have several signs around the playing fields. Please do not shoot them. They're there to remind everybody of the rules. Now, judges' decisions on the field are final. Please do not argue with any of the members of the staff. If you have an issue, please feel free to bring it up with the field judge after the game or speak with the manager. Violation of the rules may result in a loss of playing privileges without refund. Physical and negative confrontation with the staff or other players may result in expulsion from the field without refund. If you have any questions about these rules, this would be a good time to ask the staff member about them.